unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself, and you can also basically just ask us questions live. So without further ado, I'd like to give the floor to Michael Marzak.
Hello, everybody. It is a pleasure and privilege to be here with the amazing WFG team, as well as with our host, Melisha, who's been doing these trainings every month, and they are going to continue every month. So if you guys ever have new agents that need some training, or if you want to revisit something, please don't hesitate. Either reach out to one of us or join one of these awesome trainings. I'm going to start by sharing a PowerPoint. We'll go straight from there. I promise it will be fun, and then we're going to go to the website to go over the agent application as well as all the processes involved, which is not a lot. It's super easy and simple. I think you guys will love what we have. Can everybody see my screen? Very good. Okay, thumbs up. I'm going to start from the beginning here. So this is 102, current events. I always like to start with current events, what's going on. How many people use social media, right? In 2019, 3.7 billion people were using social media. So with that being said, give us a follow, Everest WFG at Everest_WFG on Instagram, Everest WFG on Facebook, myself on Instagram. And at the end, I will share all the RVPs and personal representatives that are in the United States, so you guys can see a map of it too. And some life insurance trends from 2021. 83% of people buy life insurance to cover burial and final expenses. And there's a huge need gap, suggesting that about 41 million Americans, consumers, say they need life insurance, but have none, zero. 39% of insureds wish they had purchased their policies at a younger age. And over 53%, over half, admit that they are just unsure of what they need and how much coverage they need, right? So huge factors here. And here is why Americans don't have life insurance. And it's actually crucial facts, right? 58% think it's too expensive. And guess what? They actually think it's 3 to 6 times as expensive as it really is. 43% think the process is too slow, meaning it's too difficult to get insurance. They don't know where to start. They think the application's too complicated. And today I'll show you why that isn't the case. And 35% think they don't need it. 24% are confused on how to apply. Guys, that is a huge opportunity, right? 58% think it's way more expensive than it is. So more than half. 43% think the process is too slow. And then 1 out of 4 are confused on how to apply. Otherwise, they would be covered. So who is Everest? Why am I talking about these facts, and what are we going to do? If you missed the one-on-one training, it's going to be a quick overview of what we do. We are a funeral planning and concierge service rolled into a life insurance plan. We're the only company of its kind. We provide a turnkey solution to everything surrounding that final moment, that final event of our lives, which is a funeral, right? So you have a highly trained funeral director with more than 10 years of experience on average, that will guide you and hold your hand through the entire process. They'll help you plan the funeral. They'll help you implement those plans, as well as negotiate with the funeral homes, because guess what? The industry is designed to be non-transparent, meaning funeral homes do not share their prices for the most part. They do not post them on their websites. They do not give them over the phone. Their idea is to bring you in and pull on those heartstrings to make sure that you spend enough so they can make big enough margins and commissions for themselves, right? Whereas we come in unbiased, we're here to help you, the consumer, make educated decisions, find what works for you and what is needed for your family. But on top of it, I mentioned the turnkey solution, right? This is why there's more than 25 million people across the US and Canada who have access to Everest services through one of our plans. And they use the 24/7 concierge, our will prep services, Tenzing, Price Finder, and funeral planning tools. What are all these and why are all these important in that turnkey solution? Well, on top of having that person, you can call 24/7, 365 for help on anything. Before that event arrives, there's a lot of preparation that should go into it to make that final experience smoother for your family. That is why we provide free of charge with every plan will prep tool, which you can create and write a will, healthcare directive, and power of attorney, leveraging technology. So leveraging AI, essentially, you're just answering basic questions, going through the process. They're easy to follow. There's question marks that guide you through the legalese terms. So it's an awesome tool to have those documents ready for when they are needed. And then, of course, we also give you Tenzing, which is unlimited cloud storage that you can access from virtually anywhere, as long as you have data connection in that area, right? To store those documents, because a lot of us may have curated those documents or gotten them from one attorney, but what do we do with them? We throw them under the mattress, and they should be somewhere secure. But you can also use Tenzing for photos, videos, files, taxes, mom's recipes, whatever you want to pass on to your loved ones at the time of passing, right? Because they can get access to it at the end, and then they can pull that data out. And we also give you a price finder to make that non-transparent industry more transparent, meaning your consumers and you guys have access to a tool to compare funeral homes in certain areas based on zip code, right? All over the United States and Canada. Believe it or not, there is more than 25,000 funeral homes out there. And that is more than car dealerships in the United States, right? So there's more funeral homes out there, and this tool allows you to compare them on an easy to use tool. And of course, the planning tools where you can make decisions before something happens so that your family doesn't have to. Because guess what? A lot of times families fight over what this decision is going to be, what music somebody would like. You can actually designate what you would want. And I know it's tough and difficult to talk about that moment, but we can get excited about protecting our family, making sure that they are ready for that moment, and we will never be a burden to them. They will never stress about this, right? So all of our packages come with either the Transamerica $250,000 face value IUL or more, or with the IA package, the standalone, which is simplified issue, easy to purchase, offers a 48-hour payout, which means you can get your money within 2 business days. They're all tax-free proceeds, and they all come with those benefits I mentioned. How do you market Everest? What can you do? This product is for everybody. I don't care whether it's somebody young, somebody old, whether it's a business owner, a family, a baby boomer, a young professional. It does not matter. This product works for everyone because almost nobody except funeral home directors and funeral home employees has experience dealing and planning funerals. Almost no one knows what goes into that process until they've dealt with it. And even if you were dealing with it at that time and you have had some experience, when it's your family that's in the process, it is a difficult and highly emotional time, and you are making a lot of important financial decisions. So it is helpful and almost necessary to have a guide by your side to make sure that you are on the right track. Young professionals, right? These folks often are very busy. They're going either through school at the same time as work. They may be running a business. They may be traveling a lot. Even if they're not married, they don't have big families yet. They're traveling outside of the country, and Everest helps repatriate family members if they pass away in another country too. So they need it. They need it because they haven't been exposed to it, and they need it to protect their family because they are busy and those plans are often put aside. Families, of course, families need time to grieve, and every member needs time to grieve. Families need to be ready with will prep to make sure that the family knows who's taking care of the children. The money needs to be there because often families have a lot of things going on, a lot of bills, mortgages, car payments that happen, right? And Tenzing to store all those documents in one place. Baby boomers, they have a lot of assets for the average, for the most part, right? So baby boomers need access to concierge service for their families so that they know that they're taken care of, their younger family members as well. And they also need that will to make sure those assets that they have get divested correctly into their family members, right, where they would want them to be. They need that healthcare directive because they're getting up there in age, and who knows if they will be able to make some decisions when they end up in a hospital. They want to create those my wishes and plan that event. And that Tenzing for all their medications, cards, policies, investments, all that stuff. We often tend to lose track of what we have, and logging into it is easier to do when you have everything stored in one place, which is the centralized Tenzing. And business owners. Power of attorney for business owners is crucial. Who's going to take care of your business if you're not able to, right? And having the 24/7 concierge service also benefits them as well, because usually business owners are people that like to have everything planned out in advance, and this makes sure that they have all those decisions made up front. But going further into that, here's the client's journey of what occurs before the time of death and at the time of death. Time of death is marked clearly. They get the brochure in the mail. They log in onto everestfuneral.com and explore online tools, legal documents, and they can prepare all their wishes and then periodically review those plans. And at time of death, they make that phone call, they get to those wishes and expedited claims, and we work with the funeral home and the family to finalize everything, and we stay in touch for as long as the family needs. how we work at time of need exactly. So what happens when a family member passes? They contact Everest at 24/7 line. We discuss the wishes. We review the costs with them, research, shop, and negotiate in the background. Then we finalize the arrangements and stay in touch. And this is the advisor journey. You complete the EApp, and I'm going to walk you through this process on the actual website in a second. You complete the e-application or a paper application. But by the end of this training, I hope everybody uses the EApp because it's an awesome tool that essentially prevents any mistakes to be made because it is intelligent to follow through the steps. And you can check the status of submitted apps in 24 hours on the agent e-file, and they give you correspondence electronically as well, so no papers needed. Policy is enforced once everything's checked through and mailed to the policyholder or the agent, depending on what you guys choose. And this is usually within 72 hours. So yes, a lot of our clients get approved within 72 hours. And IA American then sends the policyholder information to us, and we mail out the client welcome brochure that has the numbers and the login for the website for the client to use those benefits. However, once the policy is enforced, the clients can start logging into it. If they need the enrollment code that's coming in the packet and the brochure, they can call us, one of us, or you, or the 1-800 number, and they'll gladly help them provide that number. And then once they sign the policy receipt, then log on to their profile and start using their tools. They're ready. They can call, of course, at any time the 24/7 number for assistance. It's not just for the end of life event, right? It's for whatever they may need. We're there to help. The 1-800 number is 24/7, and it's also trained to be a sales desk like for you guys too. So you guys can call them 24/7 for help as well. Top 20 reasons for Everest is a single premium option, market competitive premium, commissions 40/40/20. You have 24/7 sales support. We do help non-US citizens as long as you have a PIN number and a passport and consular card. No medical exam, available up to age 85. Easy application and underwriting. Easy for clients to understand. Simple product to learn. Call center services there 24/7, 365. Price Finder, Tenzing, Will Prep. Unique online tools for clients that quick pay at 48 and the money for 48 hours. And anywhere in the world assistance, we have a toll-free number they can call. And unique competitive product, 24/7 concierge, and exclusive to you guys as WFG agents. And you guys are the only broker dealer that can provide this to clients. So now, without further ado, I'm going to get into the website and show you directly how to use those tools. Can somebody give me a thumbs up? They can see our website, the agent website. Perfect. Step one, awesome. Thank you so much. So
we see the PowerPoint, Michael. We don't see the actual website.
The PowerPoint, you don't see the website? Okay.
Yes.
Let me reshare the screen.
Thank you.
Awesome. Do you guys see it now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So website, step one, you head on over to the Everest agent website, which is everestfuneral.com/WFG-US. Melisha, if you could type that into the comments, into the message board, that'd be great so they can follow and copy that and save that link. You can bookmark it by hitting the little star. If you use Google Chrome on different services, it's different, of course. And here is the breakdown. When you go in here, first you have agent training videos that explain to you who Everest is, the Everest tools, all those things you can go on here, as well as FAQs. Frequently asked questions. Your instructional videos are easily found right here in English. Under step 2, they're also present in Spanish. But we use a very simple 4-step system for you guys. So if you are not appointed with Everest and you want to get appointed, it's super quick. All you do is you click on the Learn More button, follow those steps. Just remember the 2240 code, or you can copy it as I did here. Head on to the next page. It will take you here. You type in the 2240 code. You hit login, or you can paste it in there. Select IA American, type in your WFG agent code, and I'm just making one up here, and hit new contract. Once you do that, it will ask you questions. Very simple, first name information you should have, right? Your social security number, producer number, driver's license, or state ID. I think you can also use address for your residence, and then you hit next, continue right here on the bottom, and it will take you to your licensing information. So you need to provide your life licenses, but then you're pretty much done. That's it. Once you fill this out and submit it, you are done. You are going to be appointed within about 24 hours. Could take sometimes a little longer. Of course, 24 business hours. We're talking if you started on a Saturday, probably won't happen until Monday or Tuesday, but we can help if you ever feel like you're stuck or something didn't go through. We're there to help. Step number 2, It's Everest Toolkit, everything that agents need to know. This is your electronic brochures. This is information just how to US agent playbook. This is those slides I showed you, the advisor journey, the client's journey. There's brochures on here in English and in Spanish. There's videos in here in English and in Spanish. And there's translated flyers in more than English and Spanish. They're actually in several languages. I can show you those in Chinese, traditional Farsi, Korean, Punjabi, Spanish, Tagalog, and Vietnamese. If I hit on one of them, for example, you'll see that everything is done in that language. And even they even seem to match the models to make sure that people feel that everything's connected, right? So going back here, we have all that stuff covered here. Client stories too. So if you want to share how we've helped some other clients, you can also click that and find here some will prep frequently asked questions as well too. And step 3, this is your life insurance toolkit. That is everything you will ever need to find, such as agent training, guides to provide you with a breakdown of all the different health possibilities and the medication information, right? There's non-USA citizen guidelines. So if you want to show this product to people that are non-US citizens and you're not sure how it works, there's the guideline here to walk you through that. There's application flowcharts to make it easy. There's an awesome online quoting tool right here that I'll show in a second once I go down the rest of this list. And of course, there's required forms, additional forms that may ever come up that if you need, you can find them here, and they're organized by state. So I'm in Chicago, I'm in Illinois. If I hit Illinois, it will populate the product. And remember, we have Advantage for anybody under the age of 50, Advantage 50 plus for anybody over the age of 50. And then Prime Advantage is for anybody that is that wants to do a single payment, right? So you pick the product, or you can pick policy service forms, check those out. And if it'll tell you the usage needed, it'll tell you what you have here. So if you ever want to change a beneficiary, all those forms are here and easy to find. There's also tips for completing your applications and quote sheets. So before we go into the EApp, I'm going to start with, there's 3 ways to quote. 2 of them are on here. The third one is directly in the application. You can quote using our online tool, which works on mobile as well as on PC. So it's easy. So tablets, phones, you can use it on the go. You'd simply go to step 3 and click here, the life insurance quote, and it will take you to this screen. You type in your agent number, hit login, and select a product, whether it's, remember, Advantage or Advantage 50 plus. Let's go with 50 plus, you continue to quote, and then you just select these basic questions such as state. I'm gonna pick Alabama, so I don't have to scroll down. Tobacco asks yes or no. Remember, Everest is if you have not smoked within the past 12 months, you are not a smoker, right? So if you smoked before 2 years ago, when you stopped, you're good, you're clear. Plan, this is determined on health, and I'll go into that when I go into the e-application. But essentially, if somebody seems pretty healthy, they don't have a history, you can start with immediate. If they seem a little bit iffy, you can choose ROP to be safer. Just remember, ROP is a little more pricey. Monthly mode of payment, and then age. Let's say this person's 54. And we can actually do, okay, $10,000 policy. Your client can tell you, I can afford about $50 worth of coverage. I want to see what that would buy me. Or they can say, I want the full $50,000, the maximum I can get, right? And then you can add riders and child riders for both grandchildren as well. And you hit generate quote, and within seconds, you have a quote that tells you $44 for 10,000, $50 buys you about 11,585. And if you want $50,000 coverage, it's $192. You can actually view and download a PDF of this if you'd like. They will show you a little more information. I'll show you how that looks. It looks like this, and it shows you the building cash value as well, with the monthly payments, right? But it does it for the first one, that first line you have. But it will tell you everything in the breakdown. You have key features and all the stuff that is included in the policy. Makes it much easier too, right? The second way to quote outside of the e-application is by simply going into the print quote sheets. And these are great to empower your clients and show them how things change through the process. Because here's how it looks. When you open one of these up, you have a breakdown by gender, smoker or non-smoker, and whether they're immediate or ROP. So there's about 9 pages of this. So you have to find the right one. But when you're meeting, let's say, a male smoker that has an immediate death benefit, so as I mentioned, does not have health challenges, is under the age of 50. Let's say they're 43, right? You find them here and you're like, okay, so $42.61 for a $10,000 policy. But they also see that in front of them. So they know there is no tricks, no markups, no hidden costs or anything. It's all in front of them, right? It shows them what it is. And it empowers them because then they can see if they want to spend just $18 more, for example, in this case, they can get $5,000 more coverage, so on and so forth. But it also builds urgency because they see that it goes up with age. The longer they wait, the more expensive it gets, right? What $184 buys them here it doesn't even buy them that, right? It's at the lesser level of this one. So it's a great tool to use. The fourth step, and I hope after this training people don't have to rely on the fourth step a lot, is submitting paper applications. You hit here to upload documentation, the old route. It's easy to use. You can either use the fax or you can go to the app drop online to add those in there. But the easiest way to apply for clients is to use the e-application, which is on the right-hand side right here. If you're ever in one of these tools, you can hit back if you've been on it, but you can always hit the corner WFG agent home button to bring you back, right? And here you have your agent e-file. Right below that, you have the e-app where you can go to check it out. I'll show you how the e-app works. Click on it. It gives you a link to open in a pop-up box. You follow it through, and then you get to your login. If this is your first time logging in because you just got appointed, you would hit new user or password reset and get yourself set up. If you've already logged in before, just remember that your agent ID is your WFG agent ID with a 5 in front of it. And you hit login. And once you are logged in, it will take you to this screen where you will have all the applications in progress that you've started. So if you're a new agent, you will have none here. And you would hit new application. But for the sake of not having to type everything out from the beginning, I will hit one of the applications I've used before and just walk you through that process. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to start from the first screen you would see, which is right here, right? Now, most people will start by filling out this documentation here and then going into the underwriting questions. But if you want to determine whether they qualify first, because they may have told you they don't feel like they will qualify for anything, you can actually start by going to underwriting questions first and going back to this page to quote. So I'm going to do that because I think that makes a lot of sense. I just make sure to put their age in there, their date of birth and first name first, as well as their gender and social security number. You don't have to until you finish underwriting questions if you want. Right? Notice how easy it is to get approved. This is the underwriting questions. This is an actual application, right? For a 50-year-old plus, the first 3 questions are disqualifiers. If they say no to the first 3, they can be covered by Everest. This is pretty awesome. So are you currently hospitalized, confined to a nursing facility, bed or wheelchair, right? Or do you have any form of cancer currently is the keyword here? Or do you require assistance from anyone with daily activities? Pretty easy to say no to, right? Most of your clients will say no to. And then here you have the next question, which is Alzheimer's, kidney dialysis, medical diagnosis, Gehrig's disease, pretty serious diseases as well. If you say no to that, you move on to the third one. And the final question for a 50-year-old plus application is AIDS, ARC, or HIV. If they say no to these first 3, they are more than likely to, they're about 99.9% likely to qualify unless something comes up else in the background. But you're pretty confident they're going to be able to get some form of coverage. And it reminds you of that here, right? If any answer to questions 1 through 3 is yes, they're not eligible for any coverage. So then you move on to the next questions. And whether they answer yes to one of these or all of them, they still qualify for ROP coverage, return of premium coverage, which I'll explain in 1 second. These questions are also pretty simple, right? Notice this is, have you had any diagnostic testing for HIV surgery or hospitalization, right? And this doesn't disqualify them from having coverage. This just changes the policy type. So if you answer no to all of these, it's pretty easy to get through this without saying yes. About 95% of people will say no to most of these. You will go through here and they will tell you if they're at questions yes, they should apply for the return of premium death benefit. No, they should apply for the immediate death benefit plan. Comments, questions, and coronavirus questionnaire. This is intelligent. This is what I like about the electronic application. If you hit yes, it will continue asking you questions till all the options are exhausted, right? So you can put them here or not. Pretty cool and pretty easy to use. Comments, I would refrain from using comments unless you want to add something for one of the questions that is answered yes to. Then it takes longer for the policies to get reviewed. So let's say we've answered as here, Mickey Mouse for running the application on. It's pretty healthy. And I'll go back to the quote right here on the top. Normally, if we started with the first page being filled out, this was our second page, we could hit continue. But we're going to go back to quote because now we know that this particular person, Mickey Mouse, qualifies for immediate coverage based on the questions they answered. So then we answered a tobacco question. They say no, Mickey Mouse doesn't smoke. It'd be a terrible image for Disney if he smoked. And then you have plan type, death benefit, or ROP. We heard by the questions we saw that more than likely immediate. And here we can check for a box that's very important. This is if you want to have the client accept ROP if for some reason they don't qualify for immediate. So if something comes up in their MIB report or in their RX report, which runs in the background without their involvement, they make a decline for immediate, will they be willing to accept the ROP? And what is the difference between immediate and ROP? Immediate policy means if your policy is enforced and something happens to you, you will get the full face value as the payout, right? And within outside of the 2-year contestability, you will get that within 48 hours. When an ROP plan, depending on the age, and it tells you here, first 2 or 3 years, you'll get all your premiums plus 10% for the first 2 or 3 years if something were to occur to you. But after those years, after 2 or 3 years, you'll get the full death benefit. So it doesn't matter whether it's 3 years in 1 day, 3 years in 2 days. After that, you're essentially as immediate. But up to that mark, it's all the premiums you've paid plus 10% interest. There is one exception on that. If the death is accidental, they will get the full death benefit. Then you can choose riders and benefits to add on here, and it gives you 1 unit, 2 unit options, drop downs, grandchild numbers if you want to add any of those, and coverage amounts for those, and amount of insurance, right? So you can pick your payment mode. And this is the last way to quote, right? The last way to quote is right here. Say we pick monthly, they want to do $50,000, we can change this to whatever face amount we want, or we can pick the premium they want to start with here. I've already had this done before, so that's why everything's populated. Then you pick the next box. And I like this box a lot because it can ensure that your client's policy stays in force. Automatic premium loan, probably one of the most popular questions I get. If you click yes on this, because this is a whole life policy and it builds cash value, if they ever were to lapse on their policy payment, instead of the policy lapsing, what it will do is it will pull from that cash value to borrow money for that premium. That way your policy stays in force. It's an awesome tool. And then you can pick mail your policy. If you click no here, there will be no premium loan. It won't automatically do it. So the policy would lapse. So I say always hit yes. It's beneficial for them and for you as an agent as well. Mail the policy to agent, insured, or owner, right? If you guys want to hand deliver the policy, you mail it to yourself. In COVID pandemic times, a lot of people are working remotely. The insured or owner, it might make sense, right? And you have the policy date or save age. Now, if you click on date of approval, it gets approved on the day that the policy goes in force, the day we get approved. If you hit save age, you can actually backtrack. So if somebody just had a birthday and they want to pay less, you can backtrack a month or two. Just be mindful that the further you go back, then they'll have to catch up on those premium payments. And then once you do this, you hit quote, and this is the last way to quote. It will populate that 50,000 policy is about $165.09 for Mickey Mouse. You can view a PDF presentation, which will show you that same PDF that I've shown earlier with the cash values as the years continue, or you can just continue application. And if you started in this point, you get taken to the underwriting questions. We've already reviewed those. We'll just scroll down and hit continue. Once we do that, here's the payment types, and see how it's intelligent. If you do direct, it's intelligent software. If you do direct, it doesn't ask you anything. If you do bank draft, they want to get the money drafted from their account. Right here, they have all the required information to fill out. Because I don't want to put fake account information, I'm just going to stick with direct for now, even though bank drafts are most common. Then you put personal information, their address, the obvious, right? Their email, their state, their height, their weight, their physician if they have one. I don't know if Mickey should trust Donald Duck with being his physician, but who am I to judge the Disney characters, right? And then you have the owner proposed insured. So that, see, again, it's intelligent enough to see that. If the owner is the proposed insured and you hit yes, you do nothing else. But if you hit no, it will populate that extra questionnaire for you that is needed. So you will not miss anything because it will guide you through that process. And is the payer the proposed insured? So if somebody else is the payer, you hit no, and again, it shows you that box to guide you through that process. Then you have the beneficiary, primary beneficiary right here. You can pick family members, You can pick multiple beneficiaries and again, see it comes out again and gives you options for those. You can keep going and keep adding more and more beneficiaries as you go along. But if you pick family member, then you can pick the one, type them here, and you pick the relationship. Let's say this is brother and this is Popeye. Say Popeye is his beneficiary to Mickey Mouse. And then you have a contingent beneficiary. You can click none, or you can pick somebody else. If you have just two, you want to have more, you can hit that multiple beneficiaries button here too. Then the existing or replacement questions. Do you have any existing life or insurance contract currently? You hit yes or no. If you hit yes again, it will ask you for those questions. Are you replacing anything? Yes or no? Again, it will ask you those replacement questions. And because every application is based on the state that your client's in, it's intelligent enough to search for those specific questions. The reason I picked California and Mickey Mouse in this case is because California is one of those states that has a specific requirement, and it's a designee choice, which you can answer right here. It explains to you what it is, and you click one of them, and you fill out the information for the designee. And then you are pretty much done. You continue to agent's table. Here's where you put your information in as the agent, where the proposed insurance signed, any remarks you want to make. And then again, you have the replacement questions right here, yes or no. And then here you get to type in your agent number, which should populate automatically as it has for me right here. And you can actually split between two agents if you would like to. So hit split here and you can type in another one. And then from here, you continue to signatures. Once you continue to signatures, there are 3 ways to sign. It's pretty awesome. You can sign right on screen. So if you're at a tabletop presentation, just flip the screen around, have either sign with a mouse or with their finger if you have a touch screen. You can, if you're doing a Zoom presentation, somebody's kind of not in the same vicinity as you, you can do an email signature so they can sign through on their own computer on their own time. And if they are not good with technology, they're having a hard time with the keyboard, they would prefer to do a voice signature. They can call in, follow a script, and do a voice signature, which is really, really awesome. So that's it. That's the end of the application, right? It's that easy. You can just walk through it in about 15, 25 minutes, depending on how fast you type and how much chat you do in between. So you can help people get protected very quickly and easily. Now, if you ever want to check what's going on with your clients and check those aspects, you can always go on the e-file and see the statuses here. And you can also now upload forms that way too, if you would like to. I think I picked the right agent code here. I want to give somebody's information away, but I'm going to just hit continue here, and you can use service request right here. Follow the steps on there to submit additional documents. And an agent e-file, you can check correspondence. You can view all of your clients and see their cases, see if they're pending, approved, declined the entire time throughout. So it makes it really nice and easy for that process. There's also other documentations here, but these first 2 are the easiest ones to use and the most common ones for you guys to use. You can also run illustrations through here, but the other ways that I showed you are much, much easier. And just I would prefer for you to use those 3. On top of that, you can also order brochures from here, or you can also contact one of our representatives and we'll get the brochures ordered for you. If you want to order brochures, you can click right here, follow the steps, and you'll be taken right to it. Now I'm going to share back to my PowerPoint and show you the map with all your RVPs in there. Hopefully I can, did it switch back to my PowerPoint? Melisha, can you verify?
Yes, we see that.
Okay, perfect. So this is my information if you guys would like to connect to me right here. And if you want to connect to any of the other RVPs, here's everybody in the United States and which states they cover. We, however, work as a team, so don't hesitate to call another state. Don't be like, oh, they won't talk to me. We're your friendly Everest mountain climbers, as I like to joke sometimes. So we'll help you with whatever you need. Just give us a call. Nobody here is going to tell you, don't talk to me. They're all super friendly. Kind of like me, sometimes maybe friendlier than me because I may come off rough because I'm former military as a veteran. Sometimes people look at me, hey, you look scary. I'm not, I promise. I'm very cuddly. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Melisha for our awesome contest. Let's see if you guys let's see if I did a great job teaching you and you guys can win the prizes.
Yes, amazing job, Michael. Thank you so much for presenting today. And I see a few giving you a round of applause, so thank you so much. Here's the thing, and I know for those of you who logged in earlier, this is a recorded webinar, so if you'd like to see it again, just reach out to Michael or any one of us, and we'll send you the link to that recording. So as promised, we're going to be doing some quiz game right now, and I'll have my colleague Karen Gidry help me out in this contest. And what I'll do is I'll share my screen here quickly, and I would love for you to turn on your smart device, maybe a smartphone. That's usually how people join our quizzes. Turn on the phone camera and focus it over the QR code there. For those of you who don't have an extra device, if you're logged in using your phone, you can just open your phone browser and type in ahaslides.com/WFG quiz. Okay, so the shortcut version is just turning on your phone camera on your smart device and click on the link that pops up, right? I see one person, two people joining our quiz right now. Type in your name, right? So let me see if I can also turn on the music here. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, let me show the QR code again. And that's the QR code. Turn on your phone camera, your smart device camera. Don't take a picture of it, just focus it over the QR code there. And a link should automatically pop up. I see Michael dancing. Okay, there's about 50 of us here. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for more players, would you like to know who gets what? So first place winner will get